All right, 9:57. We just started. 48 kilowatts, pulling in 130 miles per hour of charge, and we'll update here in a little bit. See how quickly it takes to go from 10 miles to full. Be back in a little bit. Okay, real quick. Wanted to make a follow-up video here. Talking about the big news that came out yesterday. Tesla Supercharging will not be free for the life of the car for anyone purchasing a Model S, a Model X, or the upcoming Model 3 after 2017. So Tesla just rolled out that information yesterday, and what the article says is that anyone purchasing a car after 2017 will get a yearly allotment of supercharger kilowatts. It actually said you'll get 400 kilowatts of supercharger use annually for people that purchase a car going forward. The rationale behind that is that they only want people to use the superchargers for road trips and not for just your everyday charging. Ideally, whether you're supercharging or not, the best time to charge is when your car is just sitting at home at night when you're sleeping. You'll get up in the morning and you'll have a full battery. It's very convenient, and it doesn't inconvenience people who do need to use a supercharger. So, with that said, 400 kilowatts is not that's a fair amount of travel. So that's, if you use my car and I have a 60 kilowatt that I max charge every time, and max charge on my car is 211, 212ish, depends on how much if the battery's warm or not. But even if you just use 200, that 400 kilowatts is over 1,200 miles in my car. And that's just going off the fact that I have a 60 kilowatt battery and it gets me 200 miles. So 60 kilowatts into 400, you're six and some change, 6 battery packs, or 6, full battery charges times my 200 miles. So that's over 1,200 miles. That's a lot of driving for road trips, if that's what you use it for. And just as an example, you could do, that's a summer's worth of travel here in California. You could go up and down, the highway between Sacramento and LA. You could make that's a good few trips. If you're going east or west, that's a few trips to Vegas. If you're just going west, then I guess you're going to Pismo or something. But, the point being is it's a good amount of travel, and you get that annually. And what will be interesting to find out, nobody knows yet, but if that rolls over, now you're doubling up your supercharge use. So say maybe one year you don't do a lot of travel, and then the next year you do, now you've got a bucket of, say 800 kilowatts, whatever it is. It's worthwhile. So I don't think it's as bad as it seems. For the people that are reading it, and even if you watched my video yesterday, I made it a little more dramatic than it probably is. I've had time to process it. I've talked to a few people, done some reading on it, and looked at it. It's not that bad of a deal. Yes, I'm happy that I have supercharging for the life of my car. Hey, I got the car now, and I'm glad that I did. I don't have any regrets. But I don't think that should deter anyone who doesn't have a Tesla yet. And I'll give you some more quick math. Even charging at my house, and if I use the full, I have about 3,200 miles on my car, and some of it has been charging at work, some of it's been charging superchargers. But for sake of argument, let's say I use that full mileage allotment for charging at home. Just going off of my average watts per mile, which has been around anywhere from 290 to 330, that 3,200 miles cost me about $155 in electricity, anywhere from $150 to $155. That's for 3,000 plus miles of driving. if I were to use my old car, which was, a V8 Dodge Magnum, I got, on a good day, 16 miles a gallon. That same travel was going to cost me upwards of 500, I think it was $550. So, you're paying almost a fifth of what you would pay for gas for electricity. Even if you do have to pay for supercharger use, I can't see it being that much. You figure 3,000 miles cost me $100. So if you're just doing a couple miles here and there, or you have to pay every, whenever it's convenient when you're not at home, you're not going to be paying that much. And I'm just using my own, electricity rate. But, I can't imagine they're charging you too much more because, it's already there. It's not like they're giving you something new. It's already there. So, and if they do use the money that they get from people that supercharge to expand the network to where it becomes more convenient, to where you really do have superchargers that are out in the wild almost in the same number as gas stations, so where you really don't have these pockets where you have to wait, where if you're traveling on a holiday and you're going down south to LA or up north to Sacramento, you're gonna have a wait. Just coming back from San Francisco last weekend, it wasn't a long wait, but I still had a small wait at the supercharger. I think it was in Dublin. There were 8 cars there. There were 3 waiting, and there were more waiting when we left. So if it adds to the amount of superchargers and it makes it more convenient for the public, the total Tesla ownership, then I'm for that. And I think it will start to smooth itself out. One thing you have to remember is that there are a lot of Model 3s that are coming. 400,000 people have already put reservations in, and a portion of those people are going to have their cars next year, and it's just going to be a steady flow from there on. That's a lot of cars. So now all those same cars are sharing superchargers with all of the current owners, plus anyone who's buying Model X's and Model S's now. It's a lot of cars. It's a lot of traffic. So what they did, minimizes that traffic, or at least, somewhat minimizes it, decreases it, and it makes business sense. It'd be impossible to give free electricity, free charging to that many cars. I don't know how they do it right now, and I've said that before, but it's a great perk for people that have it, and I'm glad I'm able to take advantage of it. But it's a lot. So hopefully people don't let the fact that you can't charge for free deter them. So here's the other side of the coin. There was a comment that I got where a gentleman said he was going to wait for the Chevy Bolt to come out, and he was going to do a fair comparison. And by all means, do that. But here's the other part to consider. Even if the Bolt gets more mileage per charge, and I think they're saying it's upwards of 220 miles. Even if the Bolt does that, the current crop of non-Tesla fast chargers, so non-Tesla DC fast chargers that are out there, are only charging at a fourth, a quarter, 25% of what superchargers are charging at. I'm here to Supercharging now. I'm pulling 54 kilowatts, and that's after the taper down. It was as high as 90. You're not going to find a DC supercharger out there that's going to charge you. I think ChargePoint maybe has the fastest, and I think they're maybe at 50. And that's if you can find one. I think most of them are probably going to be about 15 to 20, maybe 25. Let me know if I'm wrong, anyone who's out there that maybe has a little bit more information on that. But I know as far as what I've seen, I don't think EVgo has DC chargers that are that fast. I know ChargePoint has some, and I think Blink has some that are in the 20s, but nobody out there has, even if they do have a 50 kilowatt supercharger, DC charger, it's not going to be that many of them. Every Tesla supercharger is faster than what you're going to find out there. So you still have a benefit where even if you do have to pay, you're going to get that electricity at lightning fast rate, and it's still going to be better than what you would get if you were publicly charging your Chevy Bolt or your Leaf or any other EV that's out there, your i3. Those are all the cars that are going to be competing in that same window of 35 to 45,000, and that's something to consider. I think the Tesla Superchargers, even if you have to pay, it's still a benefit because you're getting that electricity that much faster. Yes, you could take your Tesla to any of the other public chargers as well and use those too. So overall, I don't think it's as bad as what it seems. I'll definitely keep y'all posted, and we'll see how it develops. Let me know if you all are changing your mind, or leave me some comments just so I can see what the public perception is. I know for most people that I talked to yesterday, they said they aren't changing their mind. I think there were two people I talked to that said they were just going to wait and see. But overall, I don't think it's as bad as people made it seem. So let me know what you think. I'll keep y'all posted as I hear stuff, usually do. And thank you for checking back in for part 2. We're going to continue to talk about supercharging. So this is a 2-part video. So first part is just to talk about the supercharging going away, but the second part is just to compare speed. I'm supercharging right now. I pulled in at 10 miles, and right now it's 10:14, and I'm at 67 miles. So we're just going to do a time check to see how long it takes to go from empty to full. So stay tuned. We'll get some screenshots and we'll be right back.